Out of all students that enter their undergrad declared science majors, only 20% of minorities, 32% of white students, and 42% of Asian students will actually graduate with those same degrees. Throughout the course of their undergrad, students are changing their majors because teachers are in their way, the course they don't feel is interesting enough, they can't pass the basic level courses, or they just don't want to work hard enough to actually maintain those grades and graduate with that degree. Dr. Freeman Hrabowski is the president of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. He has grown up in Birmingham, Alabama in the time of segregation. In 1963, he attended a church service with his family and was in the back row doing homework, which was the most interesting part of his life to him. And he heard Dr. King say that if students want what their education, they want better lives for future, they want all of these things, then they need to stand up and do something about it. Well, Freeman went home to his parents and said, I want to do this. I want to walk in the children's crusade. I want to be a part of this movement. I want to do something about my education. I want better things for myself, and I want better things for the future generations to come. So his parents thought long and hard about it and decided that they were going to let him do it. They were going to let him walk, even though they knew the consequences that would happen. Well, in 1963, he was jailed, and this is the same year that the University of Maryland, Baltimore County was opened, and students of color and minorities and white students were all allowed to go to this school and work together and collaborate and get all of these degrees that they weren't receiving to begin with. As a kid, Freeman was so excited to learn. He was in the classroom and always would ask for extra problems to do, extra questions, and students harassed him about it and said, we don't want to do that homework, we don't want to do this, and you're telling our teacher that we want to do it. So he wanted to learn. He always wanted to learn and wanted to be a part of something bigger than himself. Well, as he grew up, he decided that he wanted to make a change in the education system, specifically to sciences and specifically for minorities. As I looked at this video, I decided that I'm a science major and I wanted to learn more about it. It was called The 4 Pillars of Success in Science. So it seemed interesting to me. Well, as I watched the video, it was more than that. It was minorities, it was gender roles, it was just being a better student so that you can succeed in these degrees. It had nothing to do with just science degrees and getting grades and being able to graduate with these degrees. It was about something bigger than that. It was about dedication, it was about innovation, it was about collaboration. So Freeman talked about weed out courses and barrier courses for students in the science fields. As a student in the biology field of study, I personally know what these classes are. At Northwest, zoology is the course. That's the weed out course for everybody science. Students failed and failed and failed, and they would quit, they would give up. Well, a lot of students won't let that stop them. They want to push for their dreams, so they'll retake it until they get the grade that they need. Well, Freeman wants to change this. He doesn't want these weed out courses, he doesn't want these barrier courses to make students feel like they have to stop their dream and put a halt to their goals because they can't pass this entry-level course. He wants teachers to redesign classrooms so that students feel empowered to learn and have teachers invoke questions in students and invoke curiosity to make innovation and dedicated students so that in the future when they enter the workforce they feel like they have a say, they feel like they can do something, and they feel proud of what they've accomplished so far. At UMBC, they stress high expectations, collaboration, and academic innovation. So high expectations, they want students to push themselves, and students are only going to push themselves as far as faculty and staff make them. So as a teacher, they need to ask questions, they need to make sure that the student is always actively involved in the classroom setting, and they can't just do the bare minimum to get the grade that they want. Make sure that your students are actually in class, they're working hard, they're there, they're actually present with their mind and not just sitting in class for their attendance points or to get the class participation points. Collaboration. Students need to learn to work in groups of people that aren't like themselves, people that are from different backgrounds, different majors, different lifestyles, so that they can actually understand that people from different lifestyles can come together and put something together to solve a problem with maybe a different perspective that they hadn't thought of before. The academic innovation, he really wants to focus on restructuring the classroom. Kids are so bored in classes now. He wants to make sure that students are involved, that they feel like they're a part of their learning. They feel like they are actually doing something to push themselves forward and make themselves better. Without this innovation, without this feeling of self-worth in the classroom, students aren't going to want to continue. They're not going to have that drive. They're not going to feel empowered to be a part of their learning. Students need to feel like they're present in their learning in order to do really well. Well, the question that you guys might be asking is, how does this have to do with business management? What does this have to do with us? Well, it has a lot to do with everything. As this generation goes forward, there's more and more technology every single day. And with this, you need innovation. You need people that are willing to go the extra mile to figure out the next step, figure out the next path for the next generation of technology. And without students using their brains and working together and going that extra mile and being dedicated in the workforce, this technology is going to stay where it's at. It's not going to move any further without students that feel empowered to do something. So as a business owner or as somebody in the business environment, you need to push your employees to move, to do something, to grow as a company, to build the next best thing, to be the next best company, to stand up to the number one companies in your organization, in your field, in the area that you're focusing on as a business, and tell your employees, we're going to be number one. We need to be the best, and these are the things that we need to do to be the best. Make them ask questions, make them participate, make them think critically. It'll help our workforce in groups solve problems and be determined to keep the problems away. They also need to learn how to listen in groups. In a group, it's very important to make sure that you know that you're doing something, that you're being a part of it, but it's also something to listen to other people. Other people have opinions that maybe you don't see that same perspective, and you need to really focus in on other people. Aristotle once said, choice, not chance, determines your destiny, dreams, and values. Your choice, the choices that you make, the choice to keep going, the choice to not give up, the choice to be dedicated, the choice to do all of your work and then some. All of those choices add up to where you will go in life. To thrive, you have to have heart, and heart starts in the classroom. Thank you.